I really like this movie. I mean, it's one of those movies that it just grabbed me from the beginning, and it's like I'm learning. It's emotional. I'm moved. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
So, what's the importance of a movie like this to you?
Well, it's a really good movie, and I really like being in a good movie.
Oh, cool. Yeah, of course. Okay, that's number one.
That's a wonderful
Let's get
thing.
that clear.
Right.
Good movie, and I love doing good movies.
Right, exactly. I read the script first, and then I auditioned for Hilly, and then I read the book. So, she's just this character that you love to hate, and there aren't many of those kinds of characters. I mean, there's like Nurse Ratched and stuff like that, but it's just to play someone who really thinks that they're doing the right thing. I mean, it's so terrifying. It's so terrifying, and just ultimately such a juicy role.
Was this one of those projects that, as the shooting process goes along, you start learning and absorbing more about the experience of what these people would have gone through?
Well, fortunately, we shot in Greenwood, Mississippi, which I think added so much to the movie. Because it's actually, in terms of the civil rights movement, it's a very, very historically important town. A lot of things went down there, and being there, it was so clear how recent this experience is in our history, in our country's history, and we also, when we went there, we had like 3 weeks of rehearsal, so we had time to kind of sit in that, and we had time to.
So you had a chance to sort of absorb the culture, kind of soak up what the people are like, and just kind of pick some of the stuff that was going on around in the city so that you could like store it and perhaps use it.
Yeah, and hear stories and talk to people who had lived through that time, which was, a lot of them. I mean, this is just like our parents' generation, and so that was, that was definitely very important. That added a lot to the whole experience, and that's something I'll never forget.
How much did you know about that era going in to the project?
Well, it's never enough, never enough.
Right.
I, of course, knew things from books and from school, and my mother was raised in the South or for a good part of her childhood, and, hearing her stories and documentaries and things like that. But it's so... That's one of the things that you get from doing a movie like this, is that you get to really truly imagine what it would have been like and bring it to life, and I think that's important to experience. I just do.
This is a movie that like immediately moved me as I was watching. So I want to find out from you, what's a movie that you've watched in the past that just immediately moved you and just has always stuck with you?
Well, actually, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest really stuck with me. That really, really stuck with me when I was younger. And I watched it way too many times. Like a disturbing amount of times for such a young person. There's a few of them that you just watch sometimes at a particular moment in your growth, and whether or not it's because you watch something that's a romance right around the time when you're beginning to kind of like fall in love with people or have crushes on people, and it kind of defines the way you fall in love, or you watch a movie. This movie is about, it's a really inspirational movie about someone who has courage to share their story, and a group of women who come together to support that, if this affects one person who would be normally staying silent about something that they need to say, and they actually say it, that would be so incredible. So that's the power of movies. It can do that. It doesn't always do it. It actually doesn't often do it. But sometimes a movie comes along that makes a difference.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
the time. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Have a good one.